Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard the evidence relating to the charges. You have seen over 70 documents confirming what you have heard. The evidence shows that those promoting educational reform and restructuring are intentionally perverting the truth in order to deceive the citizenry of the United States. That this confederacy of reformers is committing treason by aiding and abetting the United Nations in an attempt to destroy the very foundations of our society through the implementation of the Unesco IBE lifelong education model. The evidence further shows that this confederacy, through the willful misuse of public authority, is indeed fostering corrupt practices of education that inflict on our young a host of abuses that will ultimately lead to intellectual genocide. Ladies and gentlemen, we submit that the evidence is overwhelming and that you are compelled by that evidence to find the accused guilty on all charges. Nevertheless, if there is any doubt left that educational restructuring will indeed destroy all that we hold dear, let us now share yet another quotation from Foundations of Lifelong Education. As you listen to the words, remember that the evidence has clearly shown that the transformational OBE of the UNESCO lifelong education model is based on the behavioral conditioning as developed by B.F. Skinner. The book states, there is a dilemma facing lifelong education. It can either respond to the currently apparent needs of a changing society by subtly conditioning man, that is, a general tendency of Skinner's work, acting as a handmaiden to production in the utilitarian perspective that returns on investment, that is, aiming primarily at efficiency. If lifelong education were to be based on the efficiency and facility of learning methods, conditioned intellectual and motor reflexes, with an aim of increasing the yield of business enterprise and economic growth, it would merely serve to establish a totalitarian, one-dimensional society which would, for the first time in history, be irreversible. It would be the closed society, Henry Bergson's insect society, and there would be no way of return. In these days, when power is being seized by a host of international entities like the World Health Organization, the World Labor Organization, and now, under GATT, the World Trade Organization, must we allow even our children to be sold into bondage to the United Nations before we rise up like men and say no more? Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you, no, we implore you to find each and every member of the Educational Confederacy guilty as charged, and further to take action to stop the restructuring and restore our educational system. As a matter of conscience, exercise your political will as free men and women before it is too late, before the lamp of knowledge is swallowed up by darkness, before your children, all children, are condemned to the life in the insect society of the new